everybody. We're back here with the authors of the newly released, updated All the President's Men, Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward. You talk about hate and the hate that the former president might have for the people he feels do not constantly praise him, let's say. But I've also heard, Carl, I know you've said this, that behind closed doors, that Republicans in Washington just detest the former president, but they won't say it because they're frightened of his base. What was that like with Nixon? Was there a respect for Nixon, or did the Republicans at the time really want to get rid of him?
They were respectful of him. Most Republicans followed his policies, liked his policies, supported him pretty wholeheartedly. The difference here, I did this story for CNN, both in print and on the air, that said that 21 Republican members of the Senate despised Trump, disdained him, and then I got a call the next day from a former Republican senator who called me and said, Carl, the number is really closer to 40. And here you have, and only 2 of the ones I named all 21 of them, only 2 did anything like denying what I had written. But I had gotten this from members of the staff of each of these senators. And then you look at how craven these people in the Senate are to go along with Trumpism, to go along with authoritarianism, to go along with what Trump has done to undermine democracy. One of our 2 political parties has been captured by these forces.
Yeah, and they're just not coming clean. And
that's right.
Part of the problem in our politics is there's not enough transparency. People are not saying how they feel. One of the things that struck me very much is a remark that we reported on that Gina Haspel, who was Trump's CIA director. Now, she is a tough lady, somebody who watched waterboarding and so forth. And so about a week after the election, which Trump lost, we know from all the empirical evidence, he fired his defense secretary, Mark Esper, who very well-respected person, and Gina Haspel calls up General Milley and she says, this is insanity. We are experiencing a right-wing coup. Trump is acting like a 6-year-old with a tantrum. Now, we've heard some CIA directors say some nasty things about presidents. A 6-year-old with a you remember when you were a 6-year-old? I do. And
sure. You got a better memory than I do.
Yeah.
I want a balloon. 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 I want a balloon.
Give it to me. I mean, let it rip.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Okay, so eventually the Republican senators in 1974, led by Goldwater, once they'd heard the tapes, right? Once they'd heard the tapes, they marched over to the White House and said, "You got to go because we're going to vote to impeach you. We're not on your side anymore." Is that how it went down, essentially?
We wrote a book called The Final Days about Nixon's last year in office. So we went to see Barry Goldwater, the 1964 nominee of his party for president. We went up to his apartment. He poured himself a big tumbler of whiskey, pulled out his diary.
One for you and one for me also. Don't leave that out.
Okay.
But Goldwater was such this figure.
Yeah, he was considered really, by that time, a kind of conscience of the Republican Party. He pulls out this diary and starts reading to us about how he took a group of leaders from the Senate and the House, the Republican leadership, to the Oval Office. Nixon sitting across from him. Nixon fully expecting Goldwater to tell him that he's probably got enough votes to prevail and not be convicted in a Senate trial. So Nixon says, Barry, how many votes do I have in the Senate for acquittal? Goldwater looks at him and says, Mr. President, maybe 4, maybe 6, and you don't have mine. And the next day, Richard Nixon went on television and announced he was going to resign. That is the difference between the Republicans in Congress today and then.
I remember it. August 8th. August 9th was the resignation, 1974. Can I suggest another difference? Is that Nixon, on these tapes, in secret, there were secret recordings of him admitting to be part of these crimes, whereas with the former president, the tapes aren't secret. He said it out loud,
Absolutely.
in front of everybody, multiple times, and for years leading up to the event, that he wouldn't accept the results.
That's right.
Is there something about the shamelessness of that that prevents the members of his party from doing the right thing in public when they are secretly hoping the right thing happens?
But there's something intervening here. It's called the Constitution and the law.
I've heard
and
good things.
And you've heard about these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think Trump has not.
Quaint.
Because they are very, very clear that there's certain obligations. For instance, the day before January 6th, and on January 6th, Trump talks to Pence, his vice president. Now, Pence is the one who's going to be leading the Congress in certifying who's going to be the next president. And he berates Pence. He said, you know, I'm not going to be your friend anymore if you don't do this. If you don't do this, you are betraying us. You are finished. Your life, you know, your political life is over. I mean, it is rumored, but not authenticated, that Trump said to him, and I'm not going to invite you to my birthday party down in Mar-a-Lago. But if you look at this, it is a crime if somebody tries to get somebody to do something illegal.
Well, the reporting was that Pence said, I don't have the power to make you president of the United States. And Trump said, but wouldn't it be cool if you did?
And he did use the word cool. He really did.
Right.
But he really thought that he could overwhelm both the law and his vice president. And in this case, this Republican stood his ground and said, you cannot do this, Mr. President. I won't do your bidding.
We have to take another break, but when I come back, I will ask Bob and Carl about their thoughts on the future of American democracy. Stick around.